Hello, Chief. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry. I'm very sorry for today's class late. It's like we are full. We have full class right now.
No problem.
Sorry. Very sorry. So Alhaji Akoni, how was your week?
We thank God. Alhamdulillah.
So how much of Boko Matters were you able to do?
Sir?
I said, how much of Boko Matters were you able to do?
Yes, I try.
I can't hear you. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now. I wasn't hearing you before.
I said I tried. Okay.
Hello? I can't hear anyone again. What's going on?
Hello?
Alhaji, are you there?
I'm here.
And how come? Alhaji, is it your network or is it
I
mine?
can hear you.
You just
Can you
go
hear me?
silent and I will not hear you again.
Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you now anyway.
Okay.
Alhaji, answer us now. No, I can't hear you again. Talk now.
No, I said I try my best.
I don't know the meaning of best. Can you explain?
Okay, what is your question?
I said, how was your week? How much of Boko did you do this week?
Yes, and I said
Why is it that it is when you want to answer the question, that's when you go silent? Why is it when you want to answer the question that you just go silent?
No, it was perhaps network issue.
Okay, well, yeah, now that there's no network issue, yeah, answer us. How much of Boko did you do this week?
Yeah, I cover area of conflict. Hello?
I'm with you, sir.
Hello? So I touch area of conflict management approach. So properly, I work.
Particularly, I'm interested in your watching of videos.
Video in respect of that, and then I am so going forward. I think week has been hectic as usual, but at least I try to ensure that.
Am I the only one who can hear him?
His network is fluctuating.
Oga, because
Those
it's almost like
backlog reduced to some reasonable level. The conflict. Hello?
Well, I don't even know whether to say yes or no, but I shall proceed.
This must be a network issue.
Yeah, the network is from your side.
Are you done? Are you done? No problem. Let us assume we have had you. Okay, so Mr. Oluseyi, over to you. Can you give us an overview of your your weekly boko or your boko over
Hello?
the past 5 days.
I cannot hear you. Hello?
Don't worry, Alaji, your network, your network
Hello?
has issue. Just rest, Alaji, rest. Mr. Lucia, over to you, please. We have lost time already.
Yeah, so over the week I watched at least I've covered 75% of the video. 75 that I really
Where have you got into?
I'm still on the 2 because as we said, the foundation is this, but I'm in the 5th side.
You were on the 2 last week, Mr. Oluseyi. Hey, you told us you had finished 2. Now you're saying you're still on the 2 after another extra 6 days.
No, Mr. Ibrahim, you should understand.
Sir, I don't know. If you don't understanding me, hey, you people have mock exam tomorrow. Have you? Don't forget.
Me too, I have it and it's giving me trauma.
Trauma, Visibo. Hey. I hope when I listen to Mr. Sulaiman, I will have better news. So because first 2 news, this your news is giving me trauma. Okay, so Mr. Oluseyi, give us details. What exactly went on over the week?
Nothing went wrong. Everything was perfectly fine. I was
went on.
Yes, I said nothing went bad. Everything went fine.
I didn't say went wrong. I said went on. What went on during the week?
So I was looking at the videos. I was reading, especially those dropped off they used to send on your video. So even the video itself, fine, it's very relevant. There are some stuff they dropped after the quiz. Those two are also vital now. The videos, the learning, you don't ask us about that one. And you also drop good stories on that one. And that one, I follow that one. I make sure I take it because it's also help. So even sometimes I might not be on 3, but the stuff you drop is making me understand what is on 3 based on what we did 2 weeks ago on 3, which is more better for me. But I believe that the section 2, lesson 2 on that video is quite cumbersome, it's enormous, and it's well detailed. So someone needs to pay attention. So it's not for me to move fast without getting things, but me to have a good, clear foundation. And I will not tell you like, if I could do anything, I still need to go back to 1 and 2 and get it well. So you are dropping 3 content, and don't forget that we also have lesson learned after we fail the quiz. So you have to go and do that.
Hey, Mr. Luce, you want someone to carry you? Hey, every equals to 0. Oh, good. Oh.
Don't forget that. Now, per hour at the work. The more you work, the more you shop. I know palliative. You have 5 billion palliative now.
No, it's not me. Alaji Inka no palliative. No. Alaji Inka, I'm Mr. Sulaiman. I don't palliative.
Palliative. You should be able to substantiate your claim now.
Me, I know me, I don't have. So I just assume that you have.
How come you now mentioning my name? When if you know, you don't know. Now. They say palliative is for the poor of the poor.
No, that is for the news. You understand? But other than
even though I understand that the party element have hijacked the whole issue now.
That's why I say it's for you now, because you are part of the Babas.
Babake, I'm a small boy, you.
Yeah, I just want to see BYN. Hey. Oh yeah, Mr. Sulaiman, you are the only one that is left. I hope I have superb news from your side.
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
I know you are here. I know. Tell us, how did the week go?
For me, the weeks are somehow.
I know it's somehow. Just tell us. I know it's somehow. Just tell us.
Well, it went well. I was able to.
I know it went well. Give us details. Project manager, I know they give us adjective ori someone you need to know. Give us details. We want details.
I was able to do a bit of revision today.
You're able to do politician?
Revision
Revision of module 5.
Modify. I know the last one and the classes I've missed so far. I'm still trying to catch up, but I'm sure I will catch. Yeah.
Okay, so if I ask you now, how far with, first of all, class quizzes, do you do it every day? Because I've stopped following up in day by day.
Yes, I do it every day.
Okay. The messages sent to WhatsApp, I don't know, does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. It does, even though I'm still missing out on that as well. But it does. It does.
Okay. What is your plan regarding writing the exam?
My plan is actually November, maybe early November.
November.
Yes, I have my reasons. Mr. Ibrahim, as it stands now, I've been quite slow in catching up. I cannot say that this whole class came at the wrong time for me, but because there's no any better time, that's why I just had to forge ahead. Because there are a lot of things at hand now. I have certifications which I want to write also, Cisco certifications. My certification, if I don't do it next month, it will expire. And it means that all my certification will expire. So I'm just continuing within these two things. So it's a very tight time for me. And health-wise also, I don't know, it's just not. I'm just been managing things, work, everything here and there, but I will catch up. So that's why I need that November. If I want to force it, if I really want to get it, I need that November. I can't do it October. That's the honest truth.
No, you can do it October now if you are Albert Einstein.
The time is, I won't have time to study and prepare very well, just like the way I've been missing on it now. Yeah, I have Cisco certification targeting October, September ending or 1st of October, or first week of October. So, and work is there as well.
Okay.
It's
Okay, so what's your outlook now? What should we just assume you're not with us, or what exactly am I supposed to take out of this conversation?
Yeah, I'm with you, but my plan for the exam, just like you asked, is in November for me.
Your November, you need to be very, very. November is not as far as you think. Oh. We are in October already. I hope you have factored that in.
Yeah, it's okay.
November is a good time. November is a good time if you have been putting in your efforts right now. November is a good time if you have been putting in your effort right now. Anyway, I would keep trying to see ways to make things work. We keep trying to see, but you have to be ready for mad work. Oh. This one that you are just doing, you have to be ready for a lot of mad work. You have to be ready for a lot of mad work. Anyway, I hope that you also have an idea of the amount of that you have ahead of you. So may Allah grant us success. Okay, let's quickly roll before we start the class proper. Let's spend the next 5-6 minutes doing our normal KLP. So let's start with you. Since you are out of everybody in class, you are the only one that has said that you have done detailed and proper revision of last week's class. So can you give us an idea of what the key learning points you took out of last week's Sunday's class? Oh yeah, quickly, briefly, fast, please.
Is that for me?
Yes, it's for you that has done a lot of revision.
Did I say I've done a lot of revision? I will give you my five, but Mr. Ibrahim, I did say, you are saying I say I've done detail. Use it
that's what no, that's what I took out of the conversation.
So, you are keeping the team on track. keeping the team on track in the sense of that's the lesson 4. You have to start by leading the team. You leading a team, which is a topic under lesson 4, lead a team. With this, it means that you have to have a leadership style as a project manager. You have to leadership style in the sense that you must be able to keep the team, the vision and mission of the project. You must be able to keep it alive by always making sure that you are making sure that the team is focused on the vision, and you are always reminding the team of the vision and the mission of the project. Then
are you telling us about leadership? Should we take this as you are giving us the elements of leadership? Is that what you are telling us?
Yes, element of leadership. Yes, leading a team as a topic under keeping the team on track. That is, you must have leadership skill in terms of and again, you must always make the team to concentrate by always reminding the team of the vision and mission of the project. Talking about leadership style, that is, there is a term called servant leadership style. That is, you contribute, you support the team, you help them to remove obstacles, you help them to keep focus. Then again, you reward them by virtue of encouraging the team, by reward and recognition. This we have to go along with diversity awareness and cultural competency in terms of knowing the team and knowing that, okay, this is the right, knowing your stakeholders, know what motivates them and what inspires them. With that, you'll be able to tell if you want to reward a team member, either by a form of reward or by form of recognition or by form of reward and recognition. I think that's just the brief thing I can say about lead a team, a topic under keeping the team on track.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's proceed to Alaji. So Alaji, is your network okay now? Can we engage you for some minutes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you give us a quick LP for last Sunday, particularly Sunday's class? Can you give us a quick? What is that thing you tell me that I know? For you to have said it, it means you were in class. What's that thing? What's that phenomenal point you want to give me? Not just any word 3.0, phenomenal point. No. Alaji was in class. What's that thing you tell me?
Well,
Alaji, ẹ má dá sí wẹ́lẹ̀ o, ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ straight ni o.
Well, as far as the last, we talk of about leadership. Leadership, that is under the team, that is keeping. So
you knew you would do KLP in today's class. You did not prepare for KLP, project manager.
Hello?
I said you knew you would do KLP and you did not prepare for it.
I prepare, and that is why I'm here in the class.
Oh yeah. Once I called you, you're supposed to just throw it out.
We talk about leadership, how essential it is, in managing the project, or in keeping our team on track. You, at every point in time, you must be able to provide leadership. So, and we talk of different type of, then we thought that a leader must be visionary, at least must be able to see beyond the present. Then we talk about different type of leadership, and we lay serious emphasis on this servant leadership. that I mean, it's always, very, very effective in keeping the team on track. So among other types of leadership, we also mention, while we talk of autocratic, we talk of laissez-faire, we talk of many more like that. But essentially, we discuss more, of that of the servant leader, because it appears it is most relevant, to project management, because you must be able to keep the team. And we also mentioned about what normally leads to some issue, that warrant one to, at least be on track to ensure that at least those under you are working effectively and efficiently. So then we also talked about how we try to I think I remember we talked about diversity, awareness, and cultural uh, competencies, that at least a leader must be conscious of that. You must also ensure that at least every team members have this feeling of belongingness. I mean, when you make provision, when you allow room for inclusion, everybody, felt they are part of the game, and through that, everybody will behave. That will enhance every team members, to contribute and to enhance the productivity. So that is when you can see best, in and of them. And all this one is, meaning that all this is advancing to the success of the project, because
Okay,
once
Alaji, let me
everybody,
ask you one question. Let me ask you one question, Alaji.
okay,
If you are in a board, if you are in a meeting,
okay,
if you're in a meeting with your team members, I don't know, do they know in the office that you are doing a project management training?
no,
Okay, let's assume they know. In fact, I forgot to mention one thing. Mr. Lucia, are you there? I want to say something important.
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Sulaiman, confirm you are with me.
I'm here, boss.
Mr. Sulaiman, sorry for this embarrassing question. Is it safe to assume that you are married?
No. It's not an embarrassing question. Huh? I'm not married yet.
Okay. Hold on, no problem. Now, if your wife doesn't notice a difference in the way you think, then you have wasted money in this training. Did we hear that?
But I'm not married, so I'm safe.
If your boss doesn't notice a difference in the way you think, in the way you talk, in the way the quality of questions you raise at work, the quality of contribution you give in your meetings, then sincerely you have wasted money.
I agree with you 100%.
You have wasted money, sincerely. Because
Yes, Mr. Ibrahim. And to buttress that, I can tell you that we had a meeting sometimes ago regarding our delivery process and all of that. And after the meeting, everybody were like, to buttress your point is that after the meeting, there was another meeting we were supposed to have. So my colleagues were telling me, Sulaiman, you need to join that meeting so that you can vibrate the way you vibrate in the last meeting. Because I use a lot of knowledge that I've gained from here. I was using it because I'm the solutions architect and the service delivery person. So no, I can tell you that it's all shown to me.
Sincerely, because at the beginning of this training, I emphasized, yes, we want to pass the PMP exam, but more importantly, we want to be better professionals. More importantly, if you ask me, be better professional is almost
Is it almost as important or more important? Let me see. Which one should I choose? Well, let all of us choose according to whatever we think. But for me, it's more important to be a better professional, even than to write the PMP exam. But having both is the sweetest. Having both is the sweetest. That's the because people is only when they speak to you that they will know that you are good. But the PMP certification already shouts your name from afar. Not everybody will have the opportunity to come and sit with you. But boy, any stuff. Boy, any stuff. You know, I've been in some meetings that you find they are set on subcommittees, and chairmen of committees are literally fighting themselves to have a particular person on their team. Because you know that wherever that guy is, no, he's very sound. That guy, no.
Brian, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. You need to
say what?
That's where I want to be.
Yes, so that's the vision.
Yeah,
but Mr. Brian,
that is my objective too.
Mr. Brian, kí má parọ́ gbogbo tẹ kólẹ̀ yìí náà. Tí wọ́n bá ṣojú kòkòrò yẹn máa ya wèrè in 2 months ni o.
Again, in addition, Mr. Sheyi, in addition
Yes.
to the point, see, for people that have been disconnected for learning, for me, for myself, the last time I did my MBA was 11 years ago. So,
Alhaji, àwa tá ń kàwé.
we need, because we cherish it, and we believe at least we can do it. So, and coupled with other, small things. So we just want to do it, and I believe whatever little effort we are making will be enough to hand us the certificate and to enrich us. In fact, we already been enriched. I'm telling you.
Hey, but sir, sorry, let me add one thing. You cannot know you are enriched until a third party says, wow. What's going on? If you've not had that experience in the past 4 weeks, then something is wrong. Sincerely, something is wrong. And Emma, you can only don't trick yourself. Emma, you understand? Seriously, I mean what I'm saying here. If in the past 4 weeks somebody has not called you to say, "Wow, bro, what happened?" No, you have been moving stuff in the past. So what's going on? What's your secret? So if nobody has told you so far, then it means that there is a disconnect somewhere. There's a disconnect.
Okay, no worry.
But it depends now. There are situations where you don't even make people realize that you are. Anyway, I agree with you.
So I'm just saying this for you to understand. The most important point I'm trying to raise, Nipe, the PMP is the icing on the the cake. The PMP itself is not the goal. It is a secondary goal. The main goal is enlargement of chests. You understand? The main goal is this tons of framework that you can deploy in circumstances to impress people. Well, maybe the intention might not be to impress, but to exude professionalism. I think I prefer that than saying impress. To exude professionalism. You understand? That's the main goal. To exude professionalism. You understand? You're in an environment and then, no, it's this guy. No, that question is, somebody who asks that question, yes, it's me. No, can you tell me more about blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. That's the main goal. That's the main goal. You understand? I can remember very well, one of the past failures. I used to say only corporate. It was somebody that had said, no, even wife. If by now your wife has not noticed a difference in the way you think, then there's a problem. Because this training gives you tailors your thinking in a structured way. If you have been doing everything, where the letter is everybody, oh yeah, let us do everything together. And then you see, no, the way you think, the way you have structured your thought. The way thoughts are structured, the way it comes out, layer by layer. Or like tell also A, also Z, also K, also B, because the way you think, the way you budget, the way you plan, the way all of those things, you should have started reflecting. Of course, it has been reflecting before now, but you should have become sharper. Because the reason why I'm making all this noise is that Mr. Olusheyimi, I'm saying, yo, we not pick any book again after this class. I know, I can see it in him.
Who?
That Olusheyimi I'm looking at like this, we not pick book again after. Okay. You see, I said it. People are fumble before you, not tell you. Once you just do this thing, maybe you try. If you don't write the PMP exam immediately after you read book, you know, once to tap about the festival.
Mr. Abraham.
I'm with you.
It is not me you are talking about. If you don't know me, if you know me very well, I'm sure even my wife, if you hear what you are saying, she will tell you that what you are saying is not me. Not. See, you don't know me, so I don't want to just brag and talk. This PMP, I'll tell you, I work 12 hours shift, double shift. You know that 15 hours double shift. When I'm going in the morning, I watch this video. When I'm coming in the night, I work. When I'm on break, I'm solving this project management. I get tired. I work when I'm coming. When I'm dead cold. I live in Scotland, so it's ever been so I'm not happy because I've not even gotten to where I want on that thing. So I'm still planning that before I can even do anything. I want to know it. I don't care about the exam. Before I can write the exam, I want to be confident that I get what I understand it. I won't tell you that at this level I am. I'm at that point. I know very well. I'm not going to lie to myself. And I'm not going to invest money and waste money for a knowledge.
Correct.
So I know that I'm not September, even the quiz tomorrow, I'm not happy to do it because I feel I'm not well prepared.
I will still be happy for tomorrow.
Now I've been feeling because I don't really have time. Which one
is Mr. Suleiman asking again? You don't know that there is mock exam tomorrow. Don't worry. Tomorrow's own is not nobody. See, we are not chasing perfection here. You understand? Tomorrow's quiz, tomorrow's mock exam is that we are at a class. We are at ourselves.
What time
of that? You said what?
What time to what time?
Normal class time, 1:30 to 5:30. Or when you choose whenever you want. Understand? Tomorrow, I'm at a video in Calabar. I'm out doing by. With the drum like that.
That's our best.
The purpose of tomorrow's mock exam. Don't forget that after this, we'll start revision again. So it's for Nika Lukula to identify and where I will sink and where I will sink.
But Mr. Ibrahim, let's be frank. That video you give us, you know that video, a normal human being cannot watch 4. Because those stuff are long. We are talking about 49 minutes. One video sometimes. You see small, short one. You see another one there. The way you are talking in class like this, you see 49. I used to, when I'm going to work, I go to work, my journey is 58 minutes. Video combo lima wuton so let's say the truth. So you know that I know this video you are talking about. Me and you know it. This video, you cannot watch 4 in a day.
We didn't ask you to watch 4 in a day now.
Mr. Ibrahim, you cannot even one a day. No sure of anybody. 49 minutes now. The one that you anchored is longer. The other one that one other guy anchored like I don't know, maybe it's you, but the guy is more faster. That one said, if I sit down, man joke fast, fast. But that one that you anchor, you now put plenty things inside that video. 49 minutes. Mr. Ibrahim. Must finish 5 o'clock.
Tricky quiz.
Quiz you okay for now? 7 questions, 6 questions.
Very tricky.
Kò tẹ̀ ẹ́ ṣe àwọn quiz ìta gbà last 2 weeks, àwọn quiz kan tí kò tẹ̀ wá yé mi nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan-an bó tiẹ̀ lè mọ nǹkan gbà mí. Mo kàn máa ń sáyẹn ní pé kò tiẹ̀ yé mi. Ọ̀pọ̀ gan-an kùn ju. Lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tí máa ń quiz 50 questions pẹ̀lú PMP rè ìgbà.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. See, I told you, see, calm down, everybody.
I saw some of the questions. I wanted to just respond that I don't have any idea. Instead of just
quiz procurement management by
exactly that procurement.
Don't worry.
Èmi ò dẹ̀ tí kan bẹ̀ àtọ̀. Part of the quizzes, look at the one they gave us yesterday that it has to do with more of those project management, charter, all those charter, then all those.
Yeah,
where we started one be procurement.
Nice one. Same with me.
Procurement, Mr. Ibrahim, procurement in class. There are some things I'm seeing in that procurement because we are. Because of all of you go exam 50% procurement, my submit people need.
Other purpose now you have identified that okay, there's a gap. That's the purpose of the mock exam. When you do the mock exam, 2 things. Number 1, principle number 1, because you'll be given the correction, you'll be given your score, but don't look at the score. The score does not matter. Even if you get 1%, it doesn't matter. The score does not matter. The purpose of tomorrow's quiz is not to know score. If possible, if not that people will not like it. The purpose is not to look at the mark. The purpose is to at least experience what it looks like. Identify weak points. So that our weak points here, carry weak point A, weak point B, weak point C. You understand? So weak point, you only identify once you start TMGS. For example, say right now you provide identify chatter. No, nothing. That's one thing. But chatter. Now imagine tomorrow you now do quiz. They now bring question on chatter. You miss it. I just gap. Overconfidence. That's the purpose of tomorrow's quiz. It's not a competency test.
No problem. We are just looking. Procurement procurement.
It's not a competency test. Okay, don't worry. I'm very relaxed today because I know that we don't have so much to cover today. We don't have so much. Learning emotional intelligence. Yoku is simple something. We probably need just 2 hours and we're okay. We're okay for today. Last week, this is where we stopped. We were talking about local knowledge, monitoring relevant stakeholders. And then we're talking about you as a team member, you as the project manager, you have roles to play in mentoring and coaching everybody. I remember I asked the question that, can you coach your sponsor? I remember I asked that question that day. So, but I think the answer eventually came around is to say, okay, the concept of coaching, the word coaching is not appropriate, particularly when dealing with like a higher authority. Coaching is more of, somebody with a lot of experience wanting to guide somebody with little experience. So that's the context of what you actually call coaching. So we training and sharing plans. As you are managing your project, don't forget, you want to monitor stakeholders. You want to ensure that they also get better in whatever they do. Remember, it's just saying, reverse
shadowing.
Yes. Shadowing, reverse shadowing. And there are times in which you actually go for proper trainings. Set aside time for sharing and learning to increase opportunities to capitalize on mentoring. And remember, I mentioned one thing, that there's a tendency amongst people to want to hoard knowledge. Most of the time, that tendency should be killed. That tendency should be killed by the project manager, especially by the approach of the project manager generally. If the project manager is seen to be somebody who is relatively open, to be somebody who is relatively, you can approach him, you can talk to him, you can ask questions, he answers. Most of the time, everybody would kind of inherit that approach. kind of inherent. And then when people are in an atmosphere of trust, they feel, what's the word? They feel at home. You know, at that level, most of the time, you know, everybody kind of, you know, feel open. But even in a situation whereby even your guy asking him question, he's not answering you well, he's hiding knowledge. Oh my God, that's the recipe for a lot of organizational disaster, if I must say. Okay, so establish formal and informal plans for training and schedule. Okay, Mr. Sulaiman, can you quickly answer this question? Why are we talking about informal plans? What exactly? Do informal plans also need any form of coordination?
Okay. Please come again with your question, please.
I said there's this point here saying establish formal or informal plans for training and sharing. I now ask the question that, okay, I understand formal plans for training and sharing, Why do we need to discuss informal plans too?
In the first, maybe one-on-one interaction or meeting the person one-on-one, is that not informal? And it's important because some people tend to learn better when you don't make it formal, like you don't make it look serious, like just one-on-one engagement.
Okay. So what I understand is essentially, well, I don't know if I'll be right of saying that more learning is done informally than formally. Would that bold assertion be correct? I don't have any specific authority. I'm just quoting my own head. What do you think?
I think in that hello?
Yes, please.
Most at times, I would say you are correct, because most at times, especially when you're on site, there are many things you do not even plan for, and along the line it will crop up, and it will perhaps bring out maybe a new learning process. Then for those that are concerned, then you assemble them.
You do what?
Then that hello?
Hello, I can hear you, sir.
Hello? So I say at times when you're on site, even some of the things you do not plan for will crop up, and it will go a long way maybe to add some little value to your project. Then those that are around there, that is your team members, that can be a kind of learning, because it's a new thing. For instance, now you want to do some, let's say, earthwork or somehow. Then you approach a particular, point where you need to do some maybe filter bed, and of course you do not even emphasize such a thing. Yes, filter bed has many methodologies, but depending on the response you are getting from your distance, if all the methodology have failed and somebody now suggested, okay, let's do it this way now, then the thing work out fine. So that is a new thing, and that for me, that is a form of informal learning or training, and that will be your own take home for that day. So many a times learning we are getting come from informal system rather than formal one, and it even happens in our home.
The tacit learning.
Hello?
It is different from tacit learning,
Can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
I know I'm having issue here with and I'm trying to change to other networks. I'm having issue
I hear you,
with
sir.
MTN. Can you hear me now? Hello?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
I say I align with your position that many a times many training comes, from informal system.
Correct. Correct. Very correct. Very, 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 very correct. Thank you very much. Okay, so leverage retrospectives. Right now, of course, we know retrospectives. Those meetings that we do at the end of a sprint in Agile. Your Agile, particularly Scrum sprints. You do to review what went wrong, what went well, blah, 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 and all of that. So you hold your lessons learned sessions, call out successes and failures in project management and operation. So schedule training sessions to formalize mentoring and coaching. These sessions can be facilitated by anyone. Okay, so facilitation. Take the lead in facilitating project management activities. Model good project facilitation skills so others can learn. Encourage participation from stakeholders to build their knowledge and comprehension. Guide and offer advice to provide relevant feedback to help people grow in confidence. Increase the abilities of all project stakeholders to increase success. When all contribute, all gain. Okay, Mr. Suleiman, that last point, can you help me add one or two more points to it? When all contribute, all gain. What does it mean?
So that means, is it not inclusion, like ensuring that they all contribute and they all feel like they contribute to the project, then they all gain from it. Like it's all beneficial to everyone. It's all of benefit to everyone. That's what I can think of right now. Eh?
Well, one thing is sure about we humans. We tend to have more connection to something that we have contributed to. We tend to have more connection to something we have contributed to. And that is the reason why you realize that there's a lot of team building, team bonding, collaboration. Because what you have contributed to, most times, you want to take personal interest in ensuring that it succeeds most of the time. That's why you, as a chief facilitator on the project, you want to involve other people in as many things as possible at every opportunity. And that's why, for example, look at some of all these our planning activities. I emphasized it then that you don't plan in isolation. It is expected that it is the subject matter experts or the technical people, you need to involve them when you are planning their own part of the work. You can't just sit down in your office and determine how long things will take. Well, of course, except that you have some good amount of historical knowledge, that you want to rely on. But ordinarily, it is always still best that you bounce things through the people involved. So transformation skills. Support co-workers to support the business. Supporting business transformation requires patience and compassionate mentoring. Projects are done not in isolation, but to bring about change. Projects are done not in isolation, but to bring about change. So you are supposed to support that change, especially when, from a project's perspective, that's the whole idea of change management, because the project shouldn't fail. After you are done, there will be some transition, maybe transition into that thing you have done to become operational or transition into that knowledge you have learned or you or you have taught to become, operational in the form of them using it for something, whatever. So you're supposed to, this is monitoring and supporting team members. So all forms of supporting them in transitioning from the old system into whatever form of new system, you're supposed to also play a role in that. To enable an agile operating system, so you will be required to coach team members when introducing new methods such as agile. Of course, that's part of transformational. You want to bring a new approach into an organization. You have to. You can't just load it. Then keep knowledge current. This digital world, the skill sets being used may be obsolete or limited tomorrow. So all of these are reasons why you want to ensure that you monitor your team members, your stakeholders, monitor them, ensure they're up to speed, they have the right knowledge, and you bridge gaps with coaching, mentoring, shadowing, reverse shadowing, training, and all relevant stuff like that. So let's jump right into the last. This is the last. I should be the last lesson under the last topic under lesson 4, which is apply emotional intelligence. The reason why to promote team performance, the reason why I usually don't want to just rush this area, because it is usually regarded, emotional intelligence is usually regarded as the most important skill that would predict your success as a leader. And some even make very bold statements to say it's one of the most important skills to predict your level of success in life. Even though that's too ambitious, but it might not be too far from the truth. Because emotional intelligence talks about 2 major areas: inside and outside. Inside of you, mastery of inside of you, mastery of outside of you. Mastery of inside of you is how do you understand yourself? So that one now comes in 2 areas: understanding yourself, how to deal with yourself. Then outside too, understanding how you deal with outsiders and perfecting your understanding of outsiders. You wouldn't be a good leader if you don't have these skills. You wouldn't. There's no way you want to do it. Now, understanding yourself comes from you being able to know yourself, and that's self-awareness. You'll be shocked at the amount of ignorance we all have about ourselves. 50 years, 70 years, 45 years, 39 years, 32 years, whatever age we have. Some people are 70 years and they don't particularly have clarity on what makes them angry. They don't particularly have clarity about, we all have different characteristics. Some things, we've really not taken the time to understand Kiloma Mumekara. I don't know if you understand. Some of us don't particularly understand. Sometimes think about me. I can be a car. Because we really not understood ourselves to the point of understanding that, okay, if I start talking like this, that's self-awareness. For you to look so that you can be able to understand, okay, when I start feeling this way, what is happening? Okay, no, when I start talking like this and I start raising my hands this way, it means this. Okay, what are the characteristics when this starts to happen? You understand? I've only used Bibino and Kikana because they are very obvious ones. Human emotion is not, there are so many things that come under what they call human emotion. Just use these ones as because they are they're usually obvious and easy to understand. But self-awareness is a very powerful thing because you cannot rule outside if you cannot rule inside. That's a fundamental rule of life. You cannot rule outside well. If you yourself cannot rule yourself, and that takes us to self-regulation. You know, some of us, we just know when I'm hungry, I'm going to ballet. Okay, can you step out of yourself and examine yourself from an outsider's point of view to say, okay, Mr. Man, why are you angry? What do you need to do to reduce your anger? What do you need to do to regulate yourself? All of these things are part of emotional intelligence. All of these are still within yourself. Then the power bossy outside of yourself. You know, when you hear interpersonal skill, these things are huge. Some of us have these things naturally. That's the truth. But some of us, like me, hey, it's a struggle. A huge struggle. You know, social skills, me, I don't even have. I'm just trying to build it small. Social skill is about how do you look at the world? How do you deal with the people, the entities in the world? How do you deal with the person close next to you? Empathy is now telling you about, are you able to step out of your own shoe and step into that person's shoe and try to feel that person's pain as though you are that person? Try to feel that person's concern as though you are that person. Try to feel that person's challenge as though you are that person. Can you speak as though this person is speaking? You want to shout on the person, but before you shout, you call yourself back and say, okay, maybe that person is passing through a particular thing. You know, a particular team member came late to work, and you want to make the right query. I said, no, wait, relax. What if the person is? What if there's traffic? Or what if the person has, you know, is passing through some hard times? A particular team member, and in recent times his performance has been very low. You know, the next thing is you want to issue query, you want to shout on the person. What if you say, let me call myself back a bit? What if this person is going through some tough times? What if he has some financial problems? Can I call him? Can I speak to him? You have a particular team member who is ordinarily a star or something, and then the person comes to work and they will go and jab with everybody. You know, you also want somebody shouts at you, you want to shout back. And what if he had a rough day? Interestingly, luckily, all of us are men. We are men in class. Unlike Mr. Suleiman, that is still an akmo. Imagine, you know, of course, I'm sure you people understand that thing. An argument with your wife in the morning can color your whole day. I don't know if, well, maybe I am an exception, but I believe it should be a general rule. I don't know, Mr. Lushe, what do you think? What's your, maybe not the whole day, but it could drag you down, you know, in the earlier part of the day.
It will be, even though you try to build yourself to take your head off it, just be telling you there's a problem somewhere, there's a conflict somewhere.
So it will dampen your mood. What come out with more?
Affect you. It will not make you complete, no matter how.
Exactly. You know, you just you know,
not going back home.
You understand? Or you know, the consequences are different for different people. For some people, for some people, they just become very reserved. You ask them the question, they give you just a one-word answer. You know, so some people, they become very cold because they're still trying to come to terms with some of the internal battles that they're having. So there are times in which somebody misbehaves to you. It's not about you. You won't call share. It just means that there could be some internal battle that person is trying to fight. You look You know,
Transfer
so
of aggression.
you said what?
I said transfer of aggression.
Transfer of aggression, yes. Oh yeah, Mr. Sulaiman, explain this slide to us.
Self-awareness elements, emotional awareness, knowing feelings, perceiving connections between feelings and behavior, recognizing how emotions affect performance, being conscious of values, goals, accurate self-assessment, perceiving strength and weakness, becoming aware of blind spots, knowing emotional triggers, self-confidence, experiencing potentially unpopular opinions, taking risks, displaying positive self-assurance, having knowledge of self-esteem, efficiencies, being decisive. Then
What do you mean by knowing emotional triggers? Can you explain? What do you mean?
I can't say it again. You said what?
Knowing emotional triggers. Can you explain?
Yeah, that's trying to recognize when what can change your mood, or what can make you to what can make you to act in a different way. Recognizing those things that can switch, that can make you, that can cause mood swing.
Correct. Even though as it can be positive, it can also be negative.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Lucia, self-regulation. Can you take this?
Self-regulation element, self-control. I even need this very well. I wish I can be perfect. Self-control.
Then what?
I say I need it very well. If I can put this in my head and start applying it, I think I'll be a better person again.
Oh no.
Self-regulation element, self-control, remaining cool under pressure, staying focused in a stressful environment, controlling rash, destructive emotions, trustworthiness, acknowledging errors, challenging others, immoral conduct, establishing confidence via reputation of honest credibility, standing by principles, behaving in moral correct way above suspicion, conscientiousness, having well ordered, meticulous approach to work, being accountable.
Well-ordered, meticulous approach to work.
Yeah. But being meticulous sometimes is not too good now. If you have a boss that is too meticulous, who are frustrated.
Well,
they tend to be
paying attention to details.
Good
Being
skill,
structured.
yes, it's a very good skill, but managing people in a meticulous way is not good.
No, wait. Don't overextend the meaning of meticulous. Even a good thing can become excessive.
Yes.
Nothing is wrong in being meticulous. Being meticulous, the opposite of meticulous is mediocre. I hope you know.
Yeah, I'm saying it's good skills, but some people use it in a way that it's not nice.
That one is called micromanaging.
But that's okay. What about a way that you do a document, you will look at it, command, full stop, everything, go and change this, go and change that.
Attention to details now.
Attention to detail. It depends on the kind of thing you are doing. Everybody should build the right level of attention to detail to match the kind of work you are trying to do. So if the work you're trying to do requires that, then that you should do it. If the work you are doing does not require that you should be doing it is too new. You understand? For example, you want to go and submit a report to the board. You cannot allow unnecessary flimsy issues there. And don't forget, a lot of times, we don't see as much as our boss sees. You understand? There are times in which the boss would insist on some standards because of what he sees and what he's trying to protect. But you on your own level, you don't have to do your own work and just say, I'm done, leave for the day, in some cases. So I understand you. There are times in which meticulousness could be taken to extreme. And taking it to extreme means that overdoing meticulousness in times that it's not necessary.
Maybe.
But of course, I hope you understand this is of comma full stop. There are some basic standards that meticulousness or no meticulousness, some things should be done right.
Yes.
But in cases of extremism, no form of extremism is usually advised. But the meticulousness we're referring to here is being structured and having the right attention to detail, commensurate to what you're working on. You know, you will not need to take a gun to a knife fight. Knife lofinja, don't bring gun. Gun lofinja, don't bring bazooka. Bazooka lofinja, don't bring fighter jets. You understand? So whatever you are working on, woman need the right level of detail to match it. You understand? For example, see, I want to say cement. Let me just give you an example. You see, you Dr. Mr. Alaja Kani, I want to cement. One supervisor kumaka. Write me 500-page report of Nkotori or Gakilu Shelle. You understand? So asking for too detailed report for in frivolous cases, no, it will be extreme. But of course, there are certain circumstances that require super mega attention to detail. So the circumstance is what we guide to determine what is meticulous, to determine what is excessive. And what can be excessive in a particular instance might even be mediocrity in another instance, depending on the circumstance. So please proceed.
Agreed.
Being accountable for fulfilling goals, satisfying obligations, delivering of promises. Adaptability, adapting to changing events, interpreting events in a flexible way, and handling numerous demands and changing priorities. Innovation, producing fresh ideas, considering innovative answers to problems, and embracing new approaches and possibilities, looking for novel ideas.
All right, so Alaja, can you kindly, okay, no, let me read this. Interpersonal and team skills. All the skills you need for you to be able to operate in a team or within a group of people, and you're able to shine, you're able to be of value, you're able to be of, have impact and be able to communicate properly and have healthy exchange of ideas, communication, and all of that. So part of what you need is active listening. Some of us are not patient enough. The person you're talking to will say one sentence, you want to say 5. Active, there's a difference between listening and active listening. Active listening is listening while being active and not just being a passive person. You are listening, you are giving feedback, you are nodding, you are gesticulating, you're saying, okay, I understand that. That's active. Not just, okay, had a joke, no, that's not active listening. Active listening is a way of giving feedback to the person you are talking to, or the person that is talking to you. That, okay, I'm with you, I'm following. I'm with you, I'm following. So communication styles, of course, you have to continue to assess how you are communicating to ensure that you are getting value. And if you are not getting the right value, you have to continue to, adjust your style until you think, yes, you are able to pass your message across. Emotional intelligence, we discussed that, or we are discussing that. Influencing is just leadership. Part of interpersonal skill. Interpersonal skill is There are times in which you want to pull or push the person you are dealing with in a particular direction. So how do you influence their thoughts? How do you influence their actions towards whatever direction that you have in mind? Motivation. Motivation is just about, as you cannot influence if you can't motivate. Influencing them is being able to redirect them to a particular direction, and then you motivate them to be able to tread the path in that direction, regardless of whatever they face. Nominal group technique. This just talks about, okay, you are in a group, maybe you want to nominal group. Maybe you want to collect data. You want to, enumerate information, get their opinion on some things, get their information on some things, get feedback, do some brainstorming, get contribution, things like that. That's what nominal group technique does. Political awareness. Aha. This is a powerful one. Political awareness. We're in a team. Please, I hope we are listening. One of the first things any sharp person will do in a team is that you want to understand the flow of power. And the interesting thing is that naturally, by normal instinct, humans have this thing. But it's just sharper in some people than some other people. You understand? And this is one of the reasons why they usually tell everybody that go and develop the right body languages, but the right sets of body language. The way you carry yourself, the way you carry your arms, the way you carry your legs, the way you slouch your back, the way you slouch your neck, the way you bend, all of those things have a way of portraying the kind of power you have. Is it power? Should we call it power? The kind of, I don't know whether you should know what body language is now. There are different types of body, there are different postures that you can have that convey different things about your personality, about you. So political awareness is about, okay, you're in an organization or you're in a group, you're in a team. You want to understand how is the flow. I'm a chairman, yeah. That one, no. That guy, it's a very, that kind of thing. So you want to pay attention. Another part of political awareness is caucus. There are caucuses within teams. Only you are only the mandate group. This one, so they are the something group. You understand? And then we have transparency. Okay, so Alaja can you read this to us before we go on our short break?
Yes. Motivation elements. Commitment. Making decisions based on team's core principles. Realizing benefit in comprehensive quest. Sacrificing to fulfill company goal. Searching for opportunities to achieve team's mission. That's under commitment. Achievement drive. Setting tough goals, taking chances. Driving hard to get results. Discovering how to upgrade capabilities. Striving to minimize uncertainty. Initiative. Working above and beyond toward goals. Inspiring others through extraordinary feats. Cutting through rules to finish job. Seizing opportunities. Optimism. Under here we have hoping to succeed instead of fearing failure. Seeing reversals as event caused by controllable factors. Working toward goals regardless of barriers.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go on our normal break. We'll be back. This is 15 past 6. Let's get back by 16:35. All right, let's go on break, please.
No, no, you don't need to let him know that. Yeah, just stand up, stand up. Then you just hold it like tell him to listen. No, no, no. You take like this. You put this one. Wait. Check before. Wait. Stand up and go and read there.
Sacrifice. This is difficult. This is validation. That's it.
Yes, hello. Hello. Are we back?
Yes, you are here.
Yeah. Sorry.
We are here.
Okay, so how many people are come? Not only you.
Alaji is here since
I'm
morning.
here too.
All right. Solution, you there?
Yes. Yes. I'm here. I'm here. My network is sharp. It's not Nigeria network. Network.
It's not like Alaji. It's not like Alaji on this lecture. All right. So empathy, I've explained empathy. Being able to step into somebody else's shoes and see matters from that person's perspective. Social skills, communication, building bonds, cooperation, collaboration, change catalyst, conflict management. You're being able to manage conflicts is directly related to your capacity to make others feel you understand what they are going through. Make them feel you understand what they are going through, and make them feel that yes, the course of action that you want them to take is best for them. So influence leadership team capabilities. We explained all of this. Now, organizational theory. Let me see. Organizational theory. The study of how people and teams behave. Yeah, that's just what organizational theory is. The study of, have we heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yes.
What you are looking at on the
Is it
screen
my
is
network or my cyber is breaking? I don't know.
Hello, am I breaking?
Yeah.
I'm on Airtel, and Airtel is stable most times.
It's good. Maybe it's your network, Mr. Inka. It's fluctuating.
Okay.
I think it's my network. It's affecting everybody's voice.
Okay. So, where was I? So, talking about Maslow. Maslow's theory is such that there is like a hierarchy, as you can see from here. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of need. At the base level of the hierarchy, it is said that what you have at that level are physiological needs. Let me choose it a more clearer color. At the base level, let me see which color should I. Okay, let me put it black. At the base level, what you have is physiological need. So part of physiological need is need for food, need for water, need for shelter. Those are basic physiological needs. On top of that, you now have safety needs. Okay, you have food, you have shelter. Okay, can I have a better house? You know, security. Then on top of that, belonging. To some extent, you know, you want to belong to some associations. You want to ascribe yourself to some places. Then esteem. I want to use what's this watch? Patek. You know, there's this watch called something Patek. The watch that was in the news recently that
It's
they said
prestige, right?
Yeah, esteem. Right. Yes, you want to use, you know, esteem need, something that gives you some good level of esteem. And then self-actualization is the highest. That's the one in which is such that, you know, you might have all the money, have all the pride, have all the everything, but I want to be president of Nigeria. Say, that's self-actualization. Why do we need to know this? Because it's because the way you manage people at each level is different. So the way somebody that is at this physiological level thinks is different from the way somebody at esteem level thinks. You understand? It's different from the level somebody at self-actualization thinks. For example, like an article now, money for food is not his problem. You know, or let me say, like a Mr. Oluseyi now, money for food is not his problem. You know, money for internet is not his problem. You know, so maybe he's thinking of a second wife. Maybe he's thinking of you know, those are higher level.
belonging, belonging.
Yeah. You understand? And belonging in issues of relationships and all of that. You know? So the way you deal with people at different levels, different. You deal with different. There's some people that in your team, that's why you need to understand how to deal with people separately. And on staff come out, you can tell them, appraiser will deduct your money. And like if you say we deduct your money, only bidding resign. What do you mean? Who do you think you're talking to? You understand? What do you mean? So if I'm a Harlem, mommy told you what? I'm just resign. What nonsense is that? Even to Mobashe, I don't even understand what I mean. So level by level, you should know people and be able to deal with them the way it is. So these are elements of the active listening I mentioned earlier. Reflecting, that is, what the person is saying can reflect it back, either through your gesticulation or through, you know, giving some feedback. You know, just maybe something like that. attending, focus on the speaker at the eye level, lean slightly towards the speaker, maintain eye contact without staring. The difference between staring and maintaining eye contact. And then following, respond with non-verbal gestures or verbal responses, ask questions, allow speaker a moment to collect their thoughts. So please read this to us.
Guidelines. Building emotional intelligence with key stakeholders. Recognize your own emotion and behavior. Assess how your emotion, attitude, action, behavior control you. Observe how your emotion affect those around you. Take note of physical non-verbal cues of others, such as a stug or smile. Interpret those cues against the context, situation, and your emotions. Remain mindful of the emotions.
The voice is too low.
Mirror the behavior of others when suitable to become better connected. Practice controlling and changing emotions to better suit the situation. I'm reading to understand here. Sorry.
It's not limited to you, Mr. Aseyi.
Because identify gap here, no. But Mr. Ibrahim.
Yeah.
This emotional, what can somebody read to about these things? Once you go take a call up with guideline, you go easily come and tell you one by one.
You continue to learn. No, that's why this thing is a journey.
Is there any podcast, any training that can help somebody that someone can subscribe to that would go in for a training that will help you on all this kind of things that will make you a better person? Because it means
emotional intelligence is a world on its own. It's a whole world on its own. It's about self-mastery, self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills. It's a whole world on its own. So remember I told you, I said, at the beginning of this class, that this is like you want to get some frameworks. Now I told you, I said, even myself, sometimes I don't train for money. Like this cohort I'm taking now, it's not for the money. How much? I'm training just 3 people, it's not for the money. But if you go do my train once in a while, because number one, I enjoy it. Number two, not even about refreshing. I've been training. Even me, I'm still yet to internalize all this completely. Understand? It's even me, I'm yet to internalize it. So each time I take this class, I see different things from new perspectives, new areas, things like that. So the only way to master this thing is to continue to build on whatever you have learned. That's the only way to master it. Build on whatever you have learned. And trust me, YouTube is there to guide you. Even if you have time, there are books. And if you like multimedia, YouTube is there to guide you. So let's start the final lesson, the briefest, keeping the business in mind. What we say keeping the business in mind, it just means one thing. It just means one thing. And that is the fact that when you are working on your project, you should never lose sight of the fact that the project doesn't exist in a vacuum. The project doesn't exist in a vacuum. The project doesn't exist in a vacuum. And the project is not just for the sake of doing projects. Most times, a project is being executed because you want to bring about a particular change in something for an organization. A particular change in something for, what's the word? Yeah, for an organization. So that's why you have to keep the business in mind as you're managing your project. You have to keep the business in mind. So part of keeping the business in mind, you have to keep track of managing compliance requirements, because the business itself, the organization, does not exist in a vacuum. There are compliance goals that you need to work on. There's some compliance targets, government, third party, industry, blah, blah, blah. Then evaluate and deliver project benefit and value. The whole idea of working on the project is because you want to deliver value. So there's a whole task around it that, okay, you have to keep that in mind at every point in time. It's not just about just doing something. You know, the project value, project benefits, you know, you always figure out a way to know what you are doing and keep track to ensure that you're in that direction. Evaluate and address internal and external business environment changes. It's a very important one. Because don't forget that there are times in which at the beginning of the project, something makes sense. At the end of the project, it does not make sense again. And that's why you have to continually evaluate the business environment, political, economical, social, T, technological, legal. E, what's that second E, no? What's that second E? First tool. Oh, yeah. Wow. Political, economical, maybe environmental. I'm not sure.
Environment. First tool. Political, economical, technology, social, environmental, and legal.
Yeah. Let's start with the first one, manage compliance requirements. In most projects, solutions are subject to legal and regulatory restraint. We've discussed all of this before now. Compliance requirements, this is not the first time we are coming across it. At every point in time, we want to ensure that all the necessary regulatory or legal requirements are supposed to make use of them. So the use of risk register. Of course, we know that risk register is there to track risk, to track your uncertainties. Also, validate legal and regulatory compliance for deliverables continuously. Why do we need to continuously check this? Why? Because things change. Melo igba. So in the middle of a project, a new regulation comes out, a new act of the National Assembly comes out, a new act of the Security Council comes out, a new act of the agency comes out, and all of that. So that's why you have to continuously ensure that you are not foul of compliance requirements. So some risk related to compliance: identify the risk itself, risk owner, the person that's supposed to do this is the person available, impact of a realized risk, and the risk response. I hope we remember risk response. Mr. Oluseyi, when you hear configuration, what should come to your mind?
Versioning.
Correct. May I explain this?
Configuration management allow for tracking, versioning, and control. Records deliverable components, including a description and defined key attributes. Includes compliance. Includes compliance information, including proof of validation that each deliverable meets compliance requirements. Records deliverable components, including a description of the defined key attributes, is handed over with the deliverables, so customers can continue to track in their configuration management system.
Right. Okay. Compliance reporting. Don't forget, at the end of the day, the concept of your compliance. You want to always confirm that, okay, are we meeting all forms of third-party or even internal compliance? Compliance does not necessarily always have to be external all the time. There could be some organizational requirements itself that could require compliance. So, okay, I think compliance categories, industry and solution scope, unique legal or regulatory exposure. So, you do your work performance reports regularly with project activities and changes, team improvement, delivery status, overall progress, week status. These are some of those things that when you are giving report on all of these ones, talking about compliance, for example, delivery status, when you are giving delivery status, we talk about related compliance requirements that are involved. So compliance related risks include risk management actions. Are you doing your risk management actions well? Testing and validation activities, audits, other actions to verify deliverable compliance. We've come across various analysis many times. Various analysis simply means you want to confirm, you want to compare the ideal as you have planned together with the reality that you meet in the as you're working on the project.
Actual outcome.
Exactly, the actual ideal versus actual. And based on that, you now take the necessary corrective, preventive, blah, blah, action. So sign-offs and approvals. As part of your managing the project, you should identify the stakeholders authorized to sign off and approve compliance of the deliverables. This step follows successful testing and validating of the deliverables, but this can be throughout the project or at completion. What he's telling you is that compliance sign-off is not, well, it could be at the end of the project if that's how it is structured. But don't make the mistake of thinking that it is only at the end of the project that you do things like this. There are times in which you need to do sign-offs. Maybe some form of licensing, maybe some form of blah, 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 that you need to get done, even while the project is still ongoing. Maybe it could be in the case of maybe projects that are phased, or projects that need some critical input into some other things, and you cannot, you can't wait till the end of the project. Compliance sign-off serves as an early warning of potential threats. Let me see an example of compliance sign-off. At least I'm sure of. In the construction industry, you don't wait. It's not until the whole project has finished that you go back to the government that you are finished. It's not until you wait till the whole project has finished that you say you are done. No. Sometimes, if you have finished a particular thing, you go and submit, you get approval to proceed. Finish another one, you go and submit, you get approval to proceed. Finish something else, you go and submit, you get approval to proceed. So those are examples of staggered compliance. This serves as early warning of potential threats to compliance, the ability to capture variances and determine the course of action. The main idea of variance analysis is for you to be able to determine if there's a difference between the ideal and the real, and then of course, based on your analysis, you can know what to do. If it is okay, fine. If it is okay, fine. If it is not okay, then you know what next. Okay, so remediate compliance issues to avoid negative impact on the timeline, cost overruns, increased risks. Okay, Sorry, I've gone too far. Okay. So, Mr. Suleiman, we've not heard from you for some time. Can you read this to us quickly, please?
Guidelines. Analyze the consequences of non-compliance. To identify and manage legal, regulatory, and other compliance requirements, you need to: 1. Define legal, regulatory, and other constraints. Define the business rules that constrain the project solution and improve the likelihood of compliance. Define the parts of the potential solution subject to compliance requirements. Define the scope of the compliance requirements. Define the stakeholder responsible for reviewing, approving, and signing off on compliance. Track and manage the review and approval activities related to compliance requirements. Track and manage the risk and risk responses related to compliance requirements.
Right. Thank you. Control quality to help ensure compliance. So can you help us, Mr. Suleiman, can you help us define quality again? Come across quality several times. Can you help us define quality again?
Quality is where is this thing? Quality is delivering, meeting the target or meeting requirements, the exact requirements of the project is quality.
Okay. So if you say a quality management plan, what comes to your mind? What do you think such a document should be able to do?
That's how to, such document should be how and how to meet the requirements, what you need to meet the requirements. It's about how and what you need. It's about what you need and how to get it done.
Okay, Mr. Suleiman is ready for PM tonight.
What's in Shana? What's in Shana?
Ó máa bọ́ sí mi lọ́wọ́ lélẹ̀ àsìkò.
Yeah. So quality management plan, essentially, like those how those general how do you want to manage quality on what metrics? How do you measure? How do you assign? How do you what exactly do you want to measure? How do you define quality on the project? How do you define your quality? The components of project management plan that describes what policies, procedures, guidelines that will be implemented to achieve the quality objectives of the. So you describe your resources needed to achieve necessary quality of set expectations for the project's quality. I can remember us finding the difference between quality control and quality assurance. Who can remember? And I can remember us also saying that the difference between quality assurance is also called quality. So who can remind? Quality assurance is also called quality audit. What's the difference between quality control and quality assurance?
Hello?
I asked you a question, waiting for answer.
This thing is not. Can you come again, please? I couldn't
Quality control. Quality.
get I'm having issue here. Even both. I heard you last saying about quality assurance, correct?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, now, Aga.
Hello?
Well, lóní kẹ́yìn máa sọ ti lóyún tó pọ̀ jùjọ.
Kìíní yẹn break ni, ó ń break, I don't know.
Ẹ tèmi àbí ti yín.
Ti ọ̀dọ̀ mi bíbá ni. Both
Any-
MTN and Glo tiẹ̀ ṣe rárá. MTN dé.
Anyway, I want to believe you are following. I hope so. The most important thing is that when you do quality assurance, which is called quality, what you are doing is that
Which is called what?
you are checking your system itself to
Mr.
confirm
Ibrahim.
your processes are okay.
Mr. Ibrahim,
Yes, please. You are
Is it
checking your.
you said when you do quality assurance, is also.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm listening.
You said when you do your statement, you said when you do quality assurance, which is also.
Quality audit.
Okay, so quality assurance means quality audit.
Another word for it.
Is another word for it.
Yes. Quality assurance. See, when you are doing quality control, the output of the project is what you want to check.
Yes.
You want to check if your project is to build a house. That house, so yeah, check. Are the blocks of this quality? Are the clinical of this? Are these? But quality audit. But quality audit in its own case is the processes. How are your processes on the organization, on the projects?
So that is quality assurance itself.
That is quality assurance. So when I do quality audit, you are not auditing the end product, you are auditing the whole process. You are checking your whole system. That is this system, does it have capacity to produce good outputs?
So when we talk about quality assurance, we are looking at the process.
Yeah, read this slide.
Ọ̀gá ẹ mọ̀ pé o tí mo béèrè yẹn o ta fẹ́ sín sórí ni tó yẹ kó máa wà ń bẹ̀ forever.
Class slide yìí, I understand this.
Audit. Verify compliance with organization policies, process, and procedure. Can verify implementation of change requests. Identify use of good best practices, non-conformity, gaps, and shortcomings. Share good practices from other projects in the organization or industry. Proactively offer improvements to boost productivity, highlights contribution to lesson learned.
Yeah, explain in your own words.
Yes, it's what you're saying now. When we carry out an audit, we looking at compliance of the process, making sure that what we are doing or how we do it is in compliance with the regulatory, the procedure, regulatory, maybe internal or external procedure and processes. Then also to make sure we are able to carry out what we call repeatability and reproducibility of our outcomes as well. Then also we are also looking at it to look to identify gaps for continuous improvement in our processes as well. Then also to learn.
Audit is not an outcome.
No, for our outcome, it's not the outcome. Because you need to audit your process to find out maybe your outcome is what you really need. So you need to audit your process.
Okay.
And also look at benchmarking and best practices in order to be more better. So audit is not just to keep us where we are, and also to improve, because when you do audit, you keep having what we call findings. You keep having where you have findings and where you need to improve as well.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ẹ kọ̀wé, bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ẹ kàwé, ẹ ti mọ̀wé.
No question, sir.
So,
Yeah, quickly, please.
Now, what's the difference between audit and control?
thank you. Yeah, no,
Did
it's not the
correctly?
only person who I was about to ask same question that quality control.
What's the difference between audit and quality control?
Yes.
There is difference between it. If Mr. Ibrahim.
Yeah, please proceed, yo, because me, I don't even know how to say it again.
No, like what they say, quality control is more about you trying to do appraisal on your outcome. That's what I'm trying to tell him, that your outcome is what your control looks more at, to make sure that you are having that final output. You know, you have your input, your process, your output, and your outcome. So it looks more on your outcome. That exists where we say that your specification, maybe your parameter, or maybe the standard you want to produce. When you talk about what you need, that's what your quality control is working on. But when you talk about your quality audit, looks at standardization of your processes. That means your process, you know, your input, your process. Now, your process, is it standard? Is it world class? Is it what we say we should do? You know, when you do your product design, engineering design of how you want, okay, this is what we should do. This is kind of parameter, this case, this reference, this scalar limit, variance, is it meeting it? So now you want to carry quality audit on it. So that's where you do more verification, validation, you know, it's inside your process. The way I understand it. Yeah.
Hey, engineer, Raja Kani,
I'm with you.
if you do quality control, you are looking at what you have produced. Do quality audits, the processes that lead to the whole process, the whole system. Example, somebody who is supposed to do quality audits on the construction site. Check. Okay. The water you are using, are you storing it with best practices? Your laborers, taking them the proper way? Your iron rods, are you storing them the right way, or they are already rusting where you put them? Your construction system, are you using best practices? Your blah blah blah, are you following it the right way? Are you doing it? No, you know, all of those things, and we are not even talking about the building itself now. You understand?
Yeah.
That's audit. You audit systems, processes. But when you control quality, you are controlling quality on the outcome. Okay. Now, if you want to do quality control, for example, in operations, you have produced 1,000 pieces of something. It's not possible for you to go and test everything one by one. That's why you need to be able to do sampling. So sampling is a way of testing. Sampling is a way of testing. Of testing a lot of things, while picking some of them to represent all of them. Right, let's move on. So evaluate and deliver project value, project benefits and value. Mr. Suleiman, what is business value? What is your understanding of business value?
Business value is the expected outcome of a process or of a project, either. The expected outcome, or the expected outcome, or the expected benefits of a project.
Expected benefits. Okay. Can the benefit? Okay, I think we have discussed this now. Thank you very much. Can the benefits be intangible? We've discussed this. I hope you remember. Mr. Suleiman.
Can a benefit be what?
Can it be intangible? Can it be intangible? Anyway, because of time, yes, benefits can be intangible. It's not all the time that benefits can be tangible. So a benefits management plan is a document that describes how and when the benefits of a project will be derived and how the benefits will be measured. It is important that you figure out a way to be able to measure benefits. Because if you are not able to measure benefits, how do you even know if you have realized it? So even if it is intangible, I can remember then we had a conversation around, okay, how do you measure intangible value? There has to be a way for you to be able to at least know if at least if the goal is to increase customer satisfaction about something, there has to be a way for you to confirm if customer satisfaction has increased one way or the other. Talk about surveys, questionnaire, and many other things that you could use to at least get some level of evaluation of value. Okay. Who should read this now? Mr. Lucia, can you read this to us, please?
Benefits management plan. Target benefits. Expected tangible and intangible business value to be realized from the project. Strategic alignment. How the benefit align with the business, with the organization's business strategies. When the benefit, short-term or long-term, will be realized, usually by project phase. Benefit owner, person or group that monitors, record, and report the benefits. Matrix, direct and indirect measurement of the realized benefits. Risk associated with achieving the target benefits. You back home.
Right. Thank you. Okay, so I want to pick a call. Give me like 2 minutes, please. Sorry.
You might leave that place now. What are you doing now?
Hello? Hello?
Alaji said we should give him a few minutes. He's on the call.
Okay. Thank you.
No, sorry. Yeah, let's zoom. Alhaji Akanni, you are not in class. Gbọ́n gbà tá sọ pé ẹ sáré fún mi 2-3 minutes.
Àní kíní yẹn kò stable mi báyìí.
Network ò lè ń lò náà. Ṣé àwọn network tí àwọn Mr. Sulaiman manage ni àbí? Network management.
Ṣé bí ní Nàìjíríà lè ní ṣé bí MTN àti Glo náà ni? So Glo tiẹ̀ sí rárá lẹ́nìí MTN náà ó dẹ̀ á fún mi mọ bó ṣe ń wà on stable.
Problem MTN ni pé èrò ti pọ̀ jù lórí ẹ̀. Problem Glo.
Still the best.
Depends, Sha. For me, I still regard Airtel as the best because it doesn't have the crowd of MTN and it's relatively stable. But of course, it's dependent on environment anyway, locality. Glo here, go. Whatever service you find there, enjoy it, manage it, go. It's one of the cheapest, so it's don't complain. At the call network, at the data network, méjèèjì, gbogbo configuration. Anyway, but at the end of the day, it's still locality dependent. You know, what works for one part of a city might not work for another part of the city. So If MTN works fine for you there, then it's fine. And then consider one that is good all around. You know,
Yes. Sometimes you'll be on a call with an MTN staff and the network will be, you'll be like,
shake.
sometimes when I'm relating with them, I will say, I'm sorry, MTN network is very bad in this country. That's why. So when I want to use it against them, I say that often. You'll be on a phone call with them, and at the end of the day,
eating fumbles. So that's still part of management, you know. Alaji, you know, you have paid a lot to be in this class. I don't see the reason why you cannot have primary network, secondary network, tertiary network. You know, even if it means just buying one gig as backup in an alternative, except if you don't have another SIM, bro. For the Alaji, me, I'm looking. You know, my phone I joined the money SIM.
Thank you.
1, 2, SIM 3.
No, I've never had a situation like this before, but now at least I will.
I don't know if they still do those phones. SIM 1, SIM 2, SIM 3. How are they? Anyway, let's move on. At the end of course, sprints, we know sprints now. Yeah, we already know sprint, release management, we already know these things. Disciplined agile. Disciplined agile is an hybrid toolkit that harnesses hundreds of agile practices to guide you to the best way of working on your team operation. Disciplined agile is like disciplined agile is PMI go disciplined agile. You know, they are trying to. It's like a framework. You know, there are different flavors or different styles of agile. So they now said, okay, can we create one that is not dependent or that is not any particularly flavor, something that is like central to all of them. You know, so that's essentially what disciplined agile is all about. And then we have a number of things, maybe by E. It is explained in the video, so I wouldn't take time to go through all of them. But let me just briefly summarize because of time. Well, benefit cost analysis is what we normally know as cost benefit analysis, because there will be times in which you want to select a project. How do you select a project? What parameters would you use to define that this is a project we pick out of the 5? We pick A out of A to E. You know, one of the factors you look at is benefit cost analysis, which is also called cost benefit analysis. So the higher the cost benefit analysis, the better. You know, if you say cost benefit analysis, benefit divided by cost. If the benefit divided by cost is a law, that is benefit equal to cost a law, good, makes sense. That's a good project for you. So if you have 2 projects, you now do your benefit cost analysis, and one has a higher benefit cost analysis, then that tells you that, yes, that's a good project to go with. Now, the concept of present value, PV. Present value is that, I'm sure we all know compound interest now. The reality in most times is that when you are in this world, in the economic world that we are all in, I wanted to sell a land. I have a plot of land somewhere in an estate very close to me here. I want to sell it for 4 million naira. And I got a buyer who wanted to buy for 2 million naira now, 2 million naira in 6 months' time. I said, I know sell. Said, why? Deal, 2 million naira now. You credit me, no. 2 million naira in 6 months' time. I said, see, I'm not desperate. I only want to sell it because I want to finance another deal. And if I don't get that deal, I won't die. But 2 million naira now, 2 million naira in 2 months' time. 2 million naira in 2 months' time might be worth 1.4 million naira. 2 million naira in 6 months' time might be worth 1.4 million naira. And in that 6 months, the value of that land would have appreciated. Except if you are ready to pay me 4.8 million naira for the land instead of 4 million naira. Because it's a very bad economic arrangement. So the principle there is the principle of PV. Now, what is the principle of PV? It means that if you have 2 projects, one will give you 10 million naira in 10 years, one will give you 8 million naira in 4 years. Mr. Sulaiman, which one will you choose? Mr. Suleiman, wake up. You are slept up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm here. You said what will give me sorry, I missed it.
10
Yeah,
million naira in 6 years.
10 million naira in 6 years.
Sorry, then I will give you 8 million naira in 4 years. Which one would you choose?
10 million naira in 6 years, 4 million naira in 8 years.
In 4 years.
The one of 4 years.
Why?
Because sorry, I didn't really get the question. Don't let me just. You said which one is giving me the highest money in 10 years so that I don't miss this thing. I'm missing it.
You have wait, you have 2 projects.
Yeah.
Project is to be able to get some future value.
Okay.
Project A will give you future value of 10 million naira in 6 years' time.
Okay.
He will give you a future value of 80 million naira in 4 years' time. And you can only choose one of the 2 projects to execute. Which one will you choose?
For me, I will choose the what's it called? The earliest, the 4 million naira on.
Why? There is no 4 million naira on.
4 years on rather.
Why?
Because at that time when you have your money, you can use it, you can reinvest it. You don't know what the future holds after then.
Good.
So you
but that's not.
Yeah.
And that's the key you want to learn. That's not how to decide in investment. If you decide like this all the time, you run into problems in some cases. Future value money cannot be evaluated without bringing it back to today's value. You cannot compare 4 million naira 4 years time money with 6 years time money. It's like comparing oranges and apples. They look similar, but they are not the same. And you also don't have economic indices. What's interest rates? What's inflation rates?
Yeah.
So before you can make such a decision, you have to do what they call PV, present value. You will say, okay, at this particular interest rate, 6 million naira in 4 years' time, how much is it today? You bring it to today's value. Okay. So, okay, 6 million naira in 4 years' time at 12% interest rate is equal to 4.7 million naira today. Okay, 10 million naira in 6 years' time at 12% interest rate. How much is it today? Okay, do your calculation. 12 million naira in 6 years' time at 12% interest rate will be equal to let me see, will be equal to maybe 6 million naira today. So you now take a decision intelligently. 6.2 million naira today, 4.7 million naira today. What would you choose? Mr. Suleiman, what would you choose?
6.2 million naira today.
Exactly. So that's the concept of present value. And this is the formula for calculating it. In fact, you know the formula for doing compound interest is the opposite. Present value is the opposite of compound interest. Compound interest will tell you this is you have 10,000 naira today. At 12% interest rate, how much would the value be in 5 years' time? That's compound interest calculation. Present value calculation is the opposite. 10 million naira in 5 years' time. At 12% interest rate, how much is it today? So, net present value, don't bother yourself about this one. Don't worry, they will not ask you to calculate this one. Just know that if you have to compare projects, always go for the one that has the highest net present value. IRR, you're not accountants, you're not auditors, you might not be able to know it. Just know that if you have to compare projects, always go for the one with the highest internal rate of return. return on investment. This one is easy to understand. If you have to use return on investment as the only criteria to choose between projects, always go for the one that has the earliest time of return on investment.
Please, can you come again?
The earliest time?
Return on investment, if you have to choose between projects, 2 projects, and return on investment is the only criteria you want to use, because most of in real life, you hardly ever use only one criteria to determine which project you select. But if, for example, in the question, and they tell you that return on investment is the only thing you're supposed to use, all you need to do is, okay, which one has the earlier return on investments? You look at it, say, B, go for B. But like I told you, in real world, you hardly ever make decisions based on one criteria. So net promoter score. NPS, the metric used in customer experience program to measure customer loyalty. Customers rate their experience with a number of -100 to +100. The higher score is desirable. A/B testing. A/B testing is, okay, let me see. Which example can I give you for A/B testing? Which example can I give you for A/B testing? Okay. You want to carry out, you want to send out, let's say you want to send an email, a marketing email. You are not sure which one customers like. So you now send out, you are not sure which one the title of the email. So you now write 2 different titles of emails. You send them out randomly to people. Text. Okay. Which one will people like most? So let's say you want to send to, okay, you want to send email to 10,000 people. You know, first of all, select 100. You now send 50 of one title to one, 50 of the second title. 50, as in you send 50 emails to another 50 people with the second title. So now check, yeah, what's the response like? So the one that has the best response, that's the one you now use for, how do you call it? That's the one you now use for all the remaining emails you want to send out. That's A/B test. That's simple English. All these independent variable, don't bother yourself. Just understand it the way I've explained it. Monte Carlo.
Can you come again with that?
A/B testing is simply, you want to test, you have like 2 things. Let me make it simple. You have 2 things. You want to choose which one should I go for in these 2. You understand? And then you now set up a test. Let me try the 2 of them at the same time. The one that now gives me the best results is the one I will use for the rest.
Okay.
Okay. The one with best result.
The one that gives the best result we use for the rest. You first of all use it on a subset of the whole whatever. So the one that gives the best result in that's the one you now use for every other thing. Monte Carlo simulation is a form of simulation. It is used largely for qualitative risk analysis. They use it for what if. They use it for what if, probabilistic branches, blah, 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 and all of that. That's what they use it for. They won't ask you lots of deep questions about it. I don't want to share risk management exams, no man share Monte Carlo, but you should know it, that it is used for risk analysis. It is used for
why do they call it Monte Carlo simulation?
Quantitative risk analysis, sorry. Monte Carlo. Well, I don't remember, but I think it is named after the person who invented it. I remember. So simulation generally is about using techniques to be able to, to try to model. Simulation is just about modeling, essentially. Modeling. So when you're using simulation, you are using computer models and estimates of risk. The purpose of of models is that it gives you an idea. What if this happens? What will happen? What is the effect of X on Y? If X turns to 100, what will happen to Y? If X turns to 500, what will happen to Y? If X turns to 1,000, what will... You said what?
I said the SDY.
That's another thing entirely. My account, Mr. Sulaiman Grime, and only mathematics. The Y dx, you're not going to the X dy. What's the political school? I can understand.
Okay, the SDY. Okay.
Y dx. Differentiation, you get it.
Differentiation in calculus.
Calculus. Oh my God. Interesting. Yes, differentiation. Only can you have differentiation. Can you differentiation? Integration.
There, differentiation, integration.
Hey, I used to know those things like math. Now,
Almighty formula.
Almighty formula.
Simultaneous equation.
About a prof knew that. Okay, so you use simulations to try to make your uncertainties come to life, so that you can view your uncertainties and try to predict which direction your uncertainties will go. You know, then there's something called decision tree. Me, I will not explain decision tree analysis here. Go and watch it. Is in the video. Decision tree analysis. Who here has gone through PV, EV, EAC, BAC? Who here has gone through that? Anybody?
In the video.
So don't tell me anything.
In the video, you mean in the video? I'm not going to Moriba, you know, the calculation of fossil learning.
You have not done costs and budgeting in the video. PV, EAC, BAC, EPI. Nobody here has watched it.
Me, I'm almost there, sir.
How do you know?
Because I checked the video, I clicked. As I clicked it, I saw it now. Oh, by this calculation.
I thought you told me you revised lesson 2. And I'm asking from lesson 2, and you're still telling me that you have not done it.
Lesson 1,
you said lesson 2, Oga.
It's not in lesson. It's not in lesson 1, it's in lesson 2 now. Almost
So
the last
did you hear me say lesson 1 now? Mr. Oluche.
I don't understand. I don't get to the.
Alhaji Akanni. Formula ole ń lò. Ele náà ń lò. The formula Mr. Oluche ilẹ̀ ń lò.
But Mr. Ibrahim, any you have the access. Go and check the video. Me, I'm still watching it. That video too.
You are still what? I didn't hear that part.
I said that video, we are still watching it too.
Okay. Let's move. Hello.
Hello, sir.
You go about Mr. Seyiso.
I'm man shower that money.
Okay.
I know video. On launch shadow class. Yeah, I know video.
Thank
you. Order. No problem. Plans or no. Evaluate and address internal and external business environment changes. Internal and external business environment changes. Evaluate and address. What are internal business? What do you require? What do you mean by internal business environment? Organizational change. You're working on the look at it. There's a project I was working on for the Ministry of Health, Federal Ministry of Health. The moment Buhari's tenure was going to an end, everybody just, just stopped cooperating. Well, not stop cooperating. Everybody just said, we are focused on election. We are focused on election. I mean, I knew my target. I wanted to finish on time, get my money and go. Because I knew that whatever project you are working on, and there's a change in government, hey, you feel local. You could be lucky and you could be mega unlucky. You could be lucky and you could be mega unlucky. So, organizational changes. If there's a change in CEO and you're working for an organization, you could be lucky. The new CEO might regard your project as important. Or the new CEO can come with his own priorities and deprioritize your project. So you have to be continuously sensitive. Why do you think that towards the end of the year, most companies slow down on spending money until the federal government releases budgets? So they see the focus, the strategic focus of the government for that year. A lot of organizations follow the money. They follow especially organizations who collect project contracts, who work for government and all that. They follow the money. It is the budget that determines which area they want to put a lot of focus and interest in some cases. So that's why you, as an organizer, as somebody working on a project, you have to continually confirm that, okay, organizational changes, these things can have a lot of dramatic impact on the scope of a project. A new head of organization can come in, might not cancel the project, but change the direction entirely. A new director can come in and just dabaru the old thing, dabaru in quotes. So the project manager and the project sponsor need to have visibility into business plans, reorganizations, process changes, and other internal activities. Because internal business changes might cause need for new deliverables, reprioritization, or removal of existing deliverables. Okay, so these are our external environments. These are the first one I asked about: political, economic, social, technical, legal, environmental. Interesting. So these are not the only acronyms. There are some others. There's TCOP: technical, environmental, commercial, operational, political. There's another one: VUCA: volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. These are just frameworks that you could use to review and analyze your external business environment. So, update baselines. In traditional project plans, your completed initial plan contains your baseline. Mr. Lushi, can you explain that line? Quickly, please.
Sorry, what did you say?
Explain that first sentence.
Update baseline. Is that what you are saying?
First sentence, Oga.
In traditional project, completed initial plan contains the baseline. Yes, the baseline is like the standard. So in traditional project, the completed initial plan, because before we start in initiation, we have all what criteria, what we need to do. Because I understand the baseline
Can you be volume, please?
I can't talk too much. I'm in the ball.
We cannot hear you, Oga. We are just here.
I'm in the bus. I can't talk too much.
Okay. Oh, yeah, shall talk. We'll try to hear you.
I said the baseline is like the standard, all what we've agreed we are going to use. Mostly in the second part, whereby the sponsors, like the scatter, what we've agreed, the scope it is signed, it becomes the baseline by the sponsor. It is agreed. So that's the baseline, which is one way the traditional method of doing it.
Thank you. What this just means is that when you have done your project planning, you have come up with your scope baseline, you have come up with your cost baseline, you have come up with your schedule baseline. That's why they said if you have completed your normal initial plan. The reason why they use the word initial plan is that because your plan will be subject to change. And anytime there is a change that's supposed to affect your baseline, you go back, proper change control system, go back, you analyze, you go back, you request, you do your change, you submit your change request. If it is approved, then you go ahead and operate. So agile projects process change continuously in iterations or in increments. Work is prioritized, updated the product backlog or in the value stream. So this is an example of what I've been explaining to us all the while. In your backlog, it contains your user stories, your to-dos, as they are prioritized. By virtue of what goes on the project, there could be reasons to reprioritize and rearrange. That's what we call backlog grooming. You can add new things to the backlog. You can shuffle based on your requirements and the prioritization on the project. So a clear governance structure becomes critical when project changes are driven by changes in internal or external business environment. Because if there's a lot of change, there needs to be a governance structure so that things just don't fall apart. Governance structure here just means that, okay, there has to be some people who approve the change. There has to be some people who have some responsibility to oversee things, not just that change is just happening haphazardly without any form of control. So here, you can have a project board, project sponsor, senior user, PMO resources. These are people, we mentioned change control boards, if you remember at some point. Those ones could be the ones, could be helping us with change. So let's talk about organizational change. Supporting organizational change. What do we mean by supporting organizational change? Organizational cultures and styles. Mr. Sulaiman, we've not heard from you in a long time. What's happening? Are you with us? Is Mr. Sulaiman with us?
Yes, yeah, it's my network. I'm just changing from one to the other. So I'm here.
What do you want to tell me that will make me believe that you have been with us all the while?
You just made mention of changes, like saying what you talked about the essence why we have a change management board is those people that help us use all of those changes and document the right documentation. That's what you mentioned last before organizational change.
I read this slide to us, please. Thanks.
Organizational cultures and styles. View of leadership, hierarchy, and authority. Shared vision, beliefs, and expectations. Risk tolerance. Policies and procedures. Operating environment. Motivation and reward systems. Done.
Right, thank you. So now, we need to discuss organizational structures because there are different structures of organizations that determines what kind of... Well, this is
No, it's in my network.
This is actually explaining the videos anyway. But the kind of organization, the kind of organizational structure affects the kind of organizational structure affects the way projects will be done in that organization. For example, if an organization is projectized or project-oriented, it is easy for projects to be done because it is structured for projects. So team members are loyal to the project. Team members report to the project manager. Project manager's role is full-time. Team member's role is full-time. Project manager has full control over the project. That's a project that is projectized. The organization that is projectized. If you have a new project, they set up a full system around the project. These people working on the project don't have any other work. That's one extreme. The other extreme is functional. The example I give for functional is like in a school. Let's say, for example, University of Lagos. They want to set up a project. And then they bring non-academic staff from different departments, academic staff from different departments. I'm sure you understand that those staff are working primarily under the HODs of their departments. Do we understand that? Mr. Oluseyi, are you there?
Yes.
Those staff are primarily under the HODs of their departments. But then, on top of being under the HODs of their department, they have now been put under the project manager of the project again. So what happens? They have two bosses. They have two people they have to report to. Their normal functional work and their project work. So the HOD in this case is now their functional manager. So they have functional manager, they have project manager. So team members are usually loyal to their functional manager more. Mr. Suleiman, why do you think they are loyal to their functional managers more than the project manager?
Because at the end of the project, they still have to continue their function.
Functional
roles. Yeah.
They still have to continue their functional roles. They will now go and offend functional manager because of just 4 months project. You understand? So, but this kind of arrangement creates bottlenecks for the project. It creates bottlenecks for the project.
Exactly. And in my own organization, it even happens all the time because my role, if you have a project, I pick from different departments. The project team member are always from different departments and different country. And before you know it, sometimes you need a team member to do something. He will say he's looking for approval from his functional manager. So it always has impact on the project.
Interesting. So then you now have in between, they call them matrix. Matrix organization, they now have some form of both functional and projectized. That's what they call matrix. That's what they call matrix. So both functional and projectized. There's a level of shared work there between the functional system and the project system. So in the matrix organization, the project manager works full time, but the team members still work part time because they still belong to their functional systems. So in the functional organization, project manager has very little control. You practically have to be begging functional managers to release their team members. In the projectized, there's no, just like all this issue that the artisans do. When there's project, assemble team, everybody work. When project is done, release, everybody go away. You understand? That's a projectized system.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
In construction, is it? Can we say it's project organization?
You say what?
In construction, can we say it's project like what you do? Is it
It's projectized? So it's projectized. Yes. So a project manager has high power on the, because all the finances and everything are routed through him. So he's an accounting officer, just like you have PS in the ministry.
Yeah, I have that understanding. I just want to confirm from you since I have the opportunity now.
Yes. So PMO, we have explained PMO well. Rollout plan. You need to have a plan for successful implementation of changes. Rollout plans enable you to define knowledge transfer, training, readiness activities required to implement the change. Depending on the size, the scope, and nature of the change, the plan details might include things like the project team, affected customers and users, training and support activities. So you also have a need to update your prayer management plan. In your prayer management plan, you have your baselines, your scope, your timeline, your scope baseline, your schedule baseline. Part of your scope baseline, you have your BBS, your work packages, your resource assignments. You know, there are times in which changes might occur. Your training plan, of course, if you want to train, there could be changes to your training plan. You could change the timeline, you could change the roles and responsibilities. Maybe you want to change the training provider, or you could even change the scope of the training itself. Yes. Then artifacts, we have discussed artifacts. When you are doing training, some of the artifacts of your training would be your courseware, the course materials, lab configuration and exercises, you know, knowledge requirements and potentially credentials if certification of skills is expected. Updates for the trainers to gain necessary knowledge transfer required to deliver the updated skills. Whether in-house or outsourced, you have to ensure these changes to training are made. If there is a need for training related materials or training related artifacts, if change needs to be done, of course, definitely you have to ensure those changes are done. So that's that. Let's move on to this. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the last process. The last task. We have just 9 slides left. Sorry. I know Mr. Sulaiman, his head is hot right now. I can feel the temperature from his last question. So, and I can imagine that Mr. Luce is probably standing in a tube right now. He's standing on his feet. And each time I'm opening a new slide, he's stamping his feet on the floor that why are you doing? Don't worry, I will finish. Now, I like the fact that they ended the slide with this last process here. And it is the fact that I mentioned something earlier. I said, Mr. Oluseyi, after the class, he will not pick his book again. He was arguing with me. I said, he will pick. Well, good luck to him. If he picks, good for him. The reason why he needs to pick is the concept of continuous improvement. The concept of continuous improvement. It's an ongoing effort to improve things or something, improve products, improve services, improve processes, improve business strategy, improve business results, improve customers, improve your employees, improve your supplier, improve customer relationship, improve employee relationship, improve supplier relationships. Yo, this class is too dull. Everybody is tired. Elijah, can you read this slide? Don't worry, I promise. I just need 5 more
Continuous improvement. Aim for small incremental improvement or large breakthroughs. A business strategy that is developed at the organizational level for projects to adopt and use might be implemented by an organization's PMO.
Okay. Yeah, next one.
Culture of continuous improvement. W. Edwards Deming's philosophy of improving quality aims to reduce expenses, increase productivity, and thus increase market share. Be guided by these four concepts. One, better design of products to improve service. Higher level of uniform product quality. 3, improvement of product testing in the workplace and in research centers. Greater sales through global markets.
All right. Okay, who will read this one? Who has not talked? Yeah, Mr. Sulaiman, please. Mr. Sulaiman.
Six Sigma. Respond to customer needs and improving processes by systematically removing defects. That's by William Smith. Continuous process improvement in which quality must be continuously improved to meet customer needs. Edward. Break quality management into quality planning, control, and improvement. Joseph M. Juran. 4 absolutes. Conforming to requirements, quality achieved by perfection, standard of 0 defects, and quality measured by determining COQ. Philip B. Cosby. What is COQ?
Cost of quality, you have forgotten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us, what is the meaning of cost of quality? Wait, tell us what is cost of quality.
That's the cost of quality, the budget.
Yeah. Chai. Alaja Kani.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Cost of quality, tell us, what is it?
Cost of quality is the value derivable from the hello?
Yes. I'm with you. What is cost of quality, Oga?
Cost of quality is the amount invested, in order to I think the cost of quality is the value realizable from the product.
Hey, you have used it to chop pepper. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. You have used it to chop pepper. Okay, Mr. Suleiman, were you in class when we did cost of conformity and cost of non-conformity?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Class.
Because I would have known with what you are saying now. I was only trying to use idea from the word cost of quality to answer the question.
Hmm. Okay. Cost of quality is the amount, is what you incur to be able to either ensure quality or the consequences you bear for not doing quality. That's cost of quality. So cost of conformance is what you do, what you incur to ensure quality. And then when you have clinical corrective cost, clinical preventive costs. So cost of quality is the training, destructive testing, blah, blah, blah. Training, destructive testing, documentation, These are costs you incur because you want to get quality. Cost of non-conformance is the cost you incur as a result of not following, not meeting quality. For example, I remember then asking the question that which is more, cost of quality of cost of non-conformity, of cost of conformity of cost of non-conformity. And we said cost of non-conformity has a tendency to be far much more because, for example, part of cost of non-conformity is warranty work. In fact, loss of business is also a cost of non-conformity. As a result of not meeting quality needs, the whole company itself might follow up. Fines, warranty, and many things like that. Mr. Lucia, are you there? No. Okay. So, Mr. Sulaiman, can you read this?
Mr. Lucy, yes, okay, sir. Continuous improvement. I'm trying to understand how you are in the bus and it's still silent. I'm just trying to understand why there's nobody selling pure water or anything at the bus stop there. Nobody's
Well,
selling.
sorry, it's not in a BRT. Sorry, thank you.
It didn't say you are in no shodi.
Oh yeah, I did this in under 3 minutes. Right? Yeah.
Continuous improvement approaches. Many small changes or improvements.
Yeah, easy. You did not mention my name.
Don't want to
I did
mention
not do
the
what?
last name now.
Oh, Kaizi. Sorry. Many small changes or improvements. Small changes less likely to require major expenditures of capital. Ideas come from workers, not expensive research, consultants, or equipment. All employees should continually improve their own performance. All are encouraged to take ownership of their work to improve motivation. Then
plan study act, plan do.
Do study act, okay. Define objective and processes under plan. You do it by executing plan and collecting data. Study, evaluate data and compare results to expectations. Then you now act, identify issues and root causes. Then modify to improve process.
Thank you. So Alaji, okay, no, let me read this one. Not yet. We still have to. So some tools you use for continuous improvement. Lessons learned. Always ensure you write, you update your lessons learned register, because there you can always review your lessons learned to figure out what are the learnings on the project. Retrospectives, those are the meetings you hold at the end of a sprint. You can use that to find out what is the new thing, what went on well, what didn't go on. You can use that to identify areas of improvement on the project. Experiments. You could also conduct experiments. Look at the issue of the A/B testing that I talked about. That's an example of experiments that you could also. There are many other experiments that you could actually run on the project. Updates to process and standard. Lessons learned at the project level can apply to the organization's continuous improvement process, in addition to the project management processes itself. Escalate these lessons, evaluate them for consideration at the environmental level. So, Alaji Akoni,
guidelines. Execute continuous improvement steps. 1. Review the organization's continuous improvement strategy. Okay. Develop a continuous improvement approach for your project, keeping in mind the project goals and the expectations of the stakeholders. Use lessons learned from your project and other projects as sources of continuous improvement. For agile projects, use retrospective to improve the next iteration. Use lessons learned at the project level to improve the organization's continuous improvement process.
Thank you very much. Let's do 2 minutes of question and answer, just 2 minutes before we call it a day. Oh yeah, even though I've been doing question and answer before, at this point we have come to the end of our slides. So, tomorrow.
There's a question, sir.
All right, let's have your question, sir.
Okay. How do you determine or establish the tolerance level of project manager? Because I read that in some situation where the there are some issues that the tolerance level of PM cannot accommodate. So
That's what?
that cannot accommodate, that is beyond the tolerance level of project manager. So in such situation, project manager need to refer such cases to maybe sponsor. But the question now is that how do you establish or determine the tolerance level of the project manager? I hope you get me right.
I'm trying to get you right.
Can I come again?
Yes, please. I don't mind.
Okay. I read about tolerance. You taught us about tolerance. I read little about it. But there was in between, I realized that there are some instances whereby the tolerance level of project manager will not be adequate to really, tackle some issues. So in such instance, you need to refer such case to sponsor. Now, the question now is, what is the level? How do we establish or determine the tolerance level of a project manager?
You see, tolerance level of project manager. Is it something to be determined? That's the question. You see, on a project, what we usually have is tolerance level of the organization. What we usually have is tolerance level of the organization. But of course, what is tolerance? Let's even start from there. What is tolerance? Because it seems like we're not getting that one right. What do you see? What is your understanding of tolerance?
My understanding of tolerance, as far as project management is concerned, is kind of situation whereby there are some occasions that.
From what?
Hello.
I'm with you. I'm listening. I can hear you.
Tolerance is an act of, perhaps ignoring some situation at times in order for the project to move ahead, or tolerance at times, that is ability to withstand or to tolerate, some behavior, on site. So
that is not technical meaning of tolerance. Essentially, what tolerance means is that like, for example, you have a project. Tolerance is like the range of acceptability. For example, you want to say that, okay, I think what you are referring to is risk appetite, not tolerance. What you are referring to is risk appetite. Because tolerance is largely around a range of acceptable values. A range of acceptable values. So, but from what you have explained, it sounds more like risk appetite of what could be acceptable for, or what could be determined as acceptable. I don't know if I'm not getting you right. Maybe you should ask the question again. I'm lost.
Establishment of tolerance level of project manager. So that is, I just came over it, and I think I was a bit confused, and I
Tolerance is English language meaning of tolerance. But what can it tolerate? What can it take? Is that correct?
Yes. What can you just accept, even though it doesn't want it?
Exactly. So that's not the technical meaning of the word tolerance. That's what I'm saying. The technical meaning of the word tolerance is around, okay, our measurement is supposed to be 1.5, but we have a plus or minus 0.02 as our tolerance.
Okay.
Understand? So generally that is tolerance. But what you are looking at, from what you have defined, is sounding more like a risk appetite. How much of uncertainty can the project manager take? And that is different from different people. Okay, this one has, to some extent, has a higher level of capacity to take some risk than another person. And this one does, to the best of my knowledge, it doesn't have any objective measurements. It is a subjective thing that you measure by low, high, medium, not like you particularly have a particular figure for it. So it's not something that has a formula of calculation. I just subjective deduction.
Subjective, okay.
Just deductions based on experiences. Different people. Best of my knowledge. All right, thank you very much. So we meet at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow by God's grace. Except if all of you agree that you want to change it. This is the time we meet for our first mock exam. So thank you very much. It's a pleasure having you here. Pray that Bismillah will get maximum value out of our engagements. Thank you. Have a great day. Remain close by. I remain close by. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.